So you're sewing together a bunch of squares for a quilt, but your seams are not lining up, your edges are all wonky. Let me give you a couple tips to help you out. The first thing I'm going to tell you is to invest in some tools, a rotary cutter, an acrylic ruler, and a cutting mat. If your squares are not cut properly, they will not line up in your quilt. The next tip is seam allowance. Seam allowance is literally the only way that all of your squares are going to line up and you're going to get those perfectly crisp edges. If you're struggling with that, what I recommend is lining up the edge of your fabric with the edge of your presser foot and continuing to do this for every single square pair that you sew together. Like literally for the whole thing, line up the edge of your fabric with the edge of your presser foot and you know your seam allowances will be the same and they should line up. Right here I am chain piecing, so I'm sewing 2 squares together and then doing a couple stitches in between and then sewing 2 more together. This just cuts back on that time that it takes you to kind of like cut each piece off, and it saves a little bit of time. Okay, so I've got my first row done. I'm just going to really quickly sew together a second row so I can show you how I get my rows to line up. I 100% also recommend investing in some sewing clips. I'm going to show you here in just a second. They make all the difference. I'm taking my 2 and I'm putting them right sides together. These are those clips. And I'm going to flip one seam one way and one seam the other. You can kind of see what I'm doing right here. This is called nesting your seams. Some people like to iron their seams before they do this. I never do. I nest them and it works out. I don't know. Another tip is to not start nesting your seams on the end of your row. So if you start on the end, it typically pulls the fabric one way or the other. So start at one of those seams in the middle of your row and work out from there. Then we're going to sew the row together the exact same way. You're going to line up the edge of your presser foot with the edge of your fabric, and low and slow is the name of the game here, you guys. If you're absolutely just sewing right through this, like as fast as you can, you're moving your top fabric, and that's going to result in uneven rows. So take your time and slow down while you're sewing, because if you're moving that fabric, it's not going to be even. And if you're like, Jen, I've literally tried all of these things and it's still not working for me, just remember that with everything, it's going to take a lot of practice, you guys. Let me know what questions you have, and I hope this helps in your sewing journey.